graduated in July doing the LLB honours, and now I'm a diploma student at Edinburgh.
Hi, I'm Chris Muir and I'm just about to start my third year of my LLB law.
So I decided to study law quite early on in high school. It was because I happened to sign up to Access the Professions, which is run by Edinburgh, the widening participation group. So I signed up, didn't really know exactly what it entailed, and then when I went to the sessions I realised I really love the university, I love the buildings, I love the teaching programme. And then I had my heart set on Edinburgh, so I attended all the sessions, everything that was there, because I absolutely adored it. And to study, the reason I chose to study law as well is I liked the balance between logic and language, because I loved maths, I loved English, so I wanted to do law and I wanted to do it at Edinburgh.
And I was kind of different. I sort of said to law quite late on in my school years. I originally wanted to be an engineer. And then one day I was in class and I just realised that I didn't want to do maths for a living anymore. And I realised, I sort of took a step back and thought, well, I was good at English, good at humanities. I sort of thought that law is kind of the stereotypical answer, you know, well, it's good for if you're not really sure what you want to do. And like, I did Access Professions, came to a few of the sessions, realised that it was a subject I'd be really interested in, could kind of balance politics, language, humanities, all those sort of things in one. And like yourself, I really liked Edinburgh, really excited, and yeah, it just felt right.
Yeah, so it did and it didn't. At first I had all these Harry Potter expectations, and then I got there and I realised, oh, it's not like Harry Potter. But in reference to the quality of the teaching and the community and the friendships I've made, it's far exceeded my expectations. It's just been a whirlwind, but an amazing whirlwind. And as you progress, you're just about to go into third year, so as you progress, it's also very different. So honours was totally not what I expected. There's a lot less contact time and stuff like that. But it's a different way of teaching, but it's very interesting. So it was a shock in some parts, but it was very, very good.
My experience was kind of similar. Sort of coming to the uni, I was a bit nervous. I was like, oh, am I going to fit in? Am I going to enjoy it? Am I going to make friends? It's going to seem like too big a place to be sitting. But no, in first and second year, I realised that even though there's hundreds of people in your year, you start to get to know each other quite well. You start seeing each other in the same classes more, passing each other in the hall more. And what exceeded my expectations was when you're studying law, you just think, oh, it's just law. There's only one subject, that there's such a breadth of topics and subjects that you can do within law that those who are studying law can have totally different interests. So, like, for me to be able to do like commercial law one day, learn about companies and stuff, and then do environmental and human rights, like something really meaningful the next day, like, it was really interesting for me. And then going into second year was interesting. Lots of subjects, lots of exams, but again, I had a really good year, really enjoyed all my subjects, and the teaching staff were amazing. And yeah, it's got me excited for third year, and I think that's why I'm quite excited about the move back to Old College, because even though it's less teaching time, the fact that we're back in the one building, like, we'll still see quite a lot of the staff more, we'll still get to know the faculty better, and see more of the students more, even though there's less teaching time in third year. It's going to sound a bit cheesy for the Law Street says, but I really enjoyed the law ball last year. And what's good is because everyone's been really stressed out about exams for a month, and then one night everyone just lets it go, forgets about the exams that are coming up, and they all just have a good time. And lots of the teaching staff come to it, and it's just a really good night. Just enjoy, play go, and have fun. And yeah, it was a really good time. And you know, some teaching staff you never thought would come to the law hall that everybody thought were like really strict or like, you know, kind of boring maybe, and they were all kind of had a great time. It was just really fun.
Yeah, no, the law ball's amazing, and you're right, you see someone that you've always seen in suit and tie giving out a lecture, and then they're there dancing and doing the Kaylee, and it's very surreal, but it's very fun. My answer is equally as cheesy, but it's really, the best part has been finding myself and developing into my own person. you move out. Even if you don't move out, you meet new people, you develop new interests, there are tons of societies. You really get to decide who you want to be. And it's incredibly cheesy, but it's very true. You're away from your parents, and there's also no one behind you telling you, you have to go to this lecture. You have to develop your own work ethic, prioritize what you want to do, and it's a lot of responsibility. It can be a lot of stress, but it's also amazing to become yourself.
I'm not entirely sure where I want to go with my degree, but I know that I want to go to London, and so far I'm sort of looking at the corporate commercial route, because even if I just get my training done there, it'll sort of set a good ground base for my training and start moving on to other things. So that's the sort of interim plan, but beyond that, there's so much that I have to do with my law degree that I'm not exactly quite sure what I'm going to do for the next 20, 30 years, but yeah, I'm thinking corporate commercial and London so far.
Yeah, it opens so many doors. I have decided to go down the practicing route, so far anyway. And for me it was more of a question of what do I want to specify in, what kind of law firm do I want to join. I was a bit nervous, but the university holds a law fair, which is great, and even a careers fair where other businesses go. So after going to the law fair, I spoke to a lot of firms, and I have a traineeship now, so I'm doing my diploma, learning all the practical skills so I can be a good solicitor, and then next year I'm doing my traineeship, and then hopefully I will be a newly qualified solicitor, which was my goal from the start, so I'm glad.
That's what's really great about a law degree, even though it's tailored towards qualifying a lawyer or being an academic in law, the skill set that you learn, it can set such a good foundation for any professional career that you want to take.
For sure. I mean, a lot of people that were in my year, they've now not done diploma, they've decided either to take a year out, go travelling, go try another job, then go back to the diploma and then, qualify. And a lot of people are, I know someone who's doing, I think, investment, and you're like, what? But he has a job, he seems to be enjoying it, so.
For me, my biggest advice would be to look into open days, programs such as Access to Professions, which Edinburgh University is really good for. They have a lot of access programs and insight events that you can get involved in, and just sort of get to know the university and sort of get to know the courses that you're thinking about really well in your sort of fifth or sixth year before you apply, because then you make a really fully informed decision. For me, that's how I made the full decision, because I was an engineer. And then I started going to the Access Professions events, started meeting academics, and then did some work experience and got involved in law, and then realised that was what I wanted to do at Edinburgh as a university, and I wanted to go to it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Open days are such a vital source of information. You get to see the building, you get a real taste of the university. And then something like Access to Professions, they can give you a real in-depth look. I remember seeing course outlines, but even if you can't do something like Access to the Professions, the Edinburgh University website will have a lot of information, and I think you should never be scared about emailing the university. They're always very open and welcome if you're asking for some advice, or even if you have your place, you're going to Edinburgh. I remember I was very stressed because I thought I was falling behind before already, so I emailed them and I said, is there any prior reading that I can do that will be useful? And they told me about a book that was really geared towards studying law and gave me really useful information that just helped. It wasn't compulsory at all, but it just put me, I had a better understanding at the start. So don't be scared to reach out and inform yourself and be proactive. Yeah. So I absolutely love the refurbished Old College. Because I came in 2015, I had a chance to have some classes in the old building, and it's let me see the contrast. The old library, beautiful as it was not the best place to study. It wasn't comfortable. So you study, it was great. I'd rather study there than at home. But you see the difference now with the personal lights and more comfortable chairs, better technology. It's completely different. And this building itself, it's such a beautiful building. It's so open, it's so warm, that you want to spend your time here. And it really gives you an option to socialise as well, which I love, the fact that you can be in the library, take a 10-minute break, come have a coffee, come regain your sanity, have a little chat, and then you can go back, which we didn't have in first year because there wasn't a cafe for starters, and then our classes were all over campus, so it was pretty crazy. So it's only positive, I love it.
Quite similar, I used to want to be an architect, so when the refurbishment was all getting planned and seeing all the plans and designs, I was kind of geeking out over it and I was getting really excited about it. So to start studying here in such a beautiful building, it's really exciting for me personally. And like yourself, coming in here every day, walking through the archway every day, coming into this amazing building, it does motivate you and keeps you inspired to do well here, because I didn't go to old college when I first started, so my classes were scattered all over the city for my first and second year, and it can sort of demotivate you because you're getting tired from walking about everywhere.
Yeah.
And the buildings weren't always the nicest to be studying in, they were overcrowded, and so to come to a building that's tailored for a lot of students, has all the resources and facilities that we need to study our degree, has just been everything that we needed, really.
So flattered and surprised because it is a moment in history. It's the reopening of this absolutely fantastic building, and I was also extremely happy that they wanted student insight and the student to be there to represent, well, not just one student, students to represent the body, and it really shows that the law school cares about what the students think. It's not just done to have a pretty building, you know, and have lots of important people there. But it's inclusive and we are listened to and we are important. So that in itself was amazing. And then the fact that they wanted my input was just fantastic, because I love it. I've been here for 4 years, I'm now here for another year. So it was a great opportunity.
My initial reaction was, why me? I was a bit confused. I was like, did I win something? And it was interesting because it just goes to show how getting to know the faculty from being at old college just for a few months really helped you out, because I volunteered with Access Professions to just help out with some new students who were coming in doing some workshops, and that was with Lindsay Jack, and it was her who recommended me to speak at the event. So it just goes to show how getting to know people in the school that little bit more can go a long way. And for me it was really exciting because as a kid I would sometimes walk down South Bridge Street and I would look through the gate and I'd see the Christmas tree, and it would all be lit up and I'd be like, what is this building? So it was very nice. And then also I know that it would be the school that I would be going to in a few years' time, where I would be speaking at the reopening of the building. So it's a bit of a strange feeling to think that as a kid I would be like, oh, what's in here? And now I'm here at the reopening of it. So it's very exciting.
It's just, it gives you a real boost, and it's such a big motivation to know that one day we could be in her place, we could join that high caliber ranking, and it's motivational. It's just that, and it's fantastic, and it's wonderful, and to know that you get to speak to someone and even just get a little bit of her insights, is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's very exciting, like you say, it's very inspirational and motivating to meet somebody who can give us our insights on her time here and how she's made it to where she is. And I think it's a testament to sort of Edinburgh and Edinburgh Law School specifically, because we are in the heart of the legal profession in Edinburgh. The Court of Session is just next door. There's legal professionals walking all around us. It's all so close, it's all on our doorstep. So there's so much opportunity for us to get involved and get to know people such as Lady Wolffe. And yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, and I'm also glad it just shows how important the university is to alumni, that Lady Wolffe would take time out of her busy schedule to come back. And I hope, there's so many, I hope, and I am an alumni technically now, but I'd be happy to come back again. I would say that the Edinburgh Law School is rewarding, it is time consuming, as in one word, and it's a community.
I would say that at Edinburgh Law School it's challenging and you're pushed, but there's plenty of support there for you and they want you to do well. So despite the fact they're pushing you, it's only for your best interest.